According to an ancient seer's vision, the year 2026 will unlock a vault of unimaginable wealth for two specific zodiac signs. Are you one of the chosen? The legendary mystic spoke of a coming era when fate itself would open a treasure chest, but only for a select few. That era is upon us. 2026 brings a seismic shift in financial energy, a once-in-a-generation opportunity for explosive abundance. This isn't about random luck. It's about a powerful magnetic force field that draws money, influence, and life-changing opportunities. For most, the year will bring growth. But for these two destined signs, it will trigger a metamorphosis from striving to thriving. Doors you once thought were locked will swing open on their own. What seemed a distant fantasy will crystallize into your tangible reality. Now, you will discover who the seer named as the golden souls of this pivotal year and learn to recognize the unique signs that point you toward monumental fortune. Subscribe now so you don't miss the moment destiny sends its unmistakable signal directly to you. Aries, you naturally gravitate toward where value is created. So the prediction of $1 million in 2026 doesn't sound like a fantasy to you. It sounds like a logical financial scenario where you are the undeniable protagonist. In the seer's readings of prosperity, a clear theme emerges for your sign. You will have the rare chance to break free from conventional earning models and join the ranks of those who don't work for money, but who command entire cash flows. The crucial detail? This fortune won't materialize from thin air. It will be built, brick by brick, through determined choices, calculated risks, confrontations, breakthroughs, and sharp pivots in your financial strategy. 2026 will test your ability to act with aggressive, yet strategic, precision. Don't charge at every possibility. Select one or two niches where you're prepared to fight to the finish. The vision indicates that Aries will gain exclusive access to openings where others perceive only peril and strain. Where the cautious retreat, you will make your most significant monetary leap. These could be transactions demanding rapid decisions, the acquisition or sale of a key asset, a pivotal new partnership, or launching an enterprise that requires courage over endless deliberation. The key isn't how many hours you labor, but how much responsibility you willingly shoulder. The more you accept accountability for the outcome, the closer you move to that seven-figure mark. Fate will actively push you into situations demanding a yes where you once would have said, "I'll think it over." This prophecy isn't about comfort. It's about forging your mettle. You're entering a phase where wealth arrives through the struggle for status, through the willingness to overhaul your environment, circle, and work format. Clinging to outdated financial models, a safe but limited salary, minor side gigs, stagnant roles will actively block your path to substantial sums. The mystic always emphasized that abundance comes to those unafraid to shed the old to make way for the new. For Aries, this means timely exits from toxic partnerships, releasing people who bring neither resources nor prospects, and ceasing to waste energy on projects with zero growth potential. The core of this prophetic direction is a transition from a performer's role to a leader's throne. If you're employed, 2026 presents a clear fork. Either you ascend to a management position with a radically different income and responsibility level, or you build a parallel enterprise that eventually dwarfs your primary salary. For Aries with existing businesses, opportunities for scaling, team expansion, new market entry, Additional revenue streams and increasing average transaction values will emerge. Success comes through multiplying what already exists, not via reckless plunges into unfamiliar territory without analysis. Unique feature of this prediction is its emphasis on reaction speed. In 2026, you'll find yourself in scenarios where the window to secure a large sum has a strict expiration date. Miss the moment, and you forfeit the chance. Therefore, you must learn not only to act boldly, but to think with icy calm. Don't risk for adrenaline's sake. Calculate, evaluate, weigh, and consult experts in the relevant field. The paradox? A million arises not from wild courage, but from controlled bravery, where every risk is a calculated step. Not an impulsive gesture. In texts linking the mystic's name to prosperity. Another vital motif for Aries is evident: the ability to seal financial leaks before constructing your empire. To reach $1 million level, you cannot tolerate chaotic spending, unplanned debts, or loans for impulsive buys. Financial discipline becomes your primary lever. Rigorous expense control, rejecting the superfluous, optimizing subscriptions, payments, and unprofitable deals. This clears the path for large sums. An Aries who can account for every dollar is always closer to $1 million than one who merely dreams of it. Another thread of the prophetic message involves the people who become conduits for money. In 2026, you'll attract individuals who think on a grand scale: entrepreneurs, investors, those experienced in building enterprises. Some will become partners, some competitors, and some will be invisible mentors whose advice transforms your relationship with income and risk. Your task is not to argue stubbornly, but to learn. Don't drag people down with inflexibility. Recognize that some understand legal nuances better, others grasp taxes, and others master investment instruments. The more you're willing to listen and apply useful insights, the more powerfully this prophetic reinforcement will work for you. The monetary energy for Aries in this vision is tied to performing under pressure. This is a period where you may simultaneously face significant expenses and massive earning opportunities, investing in education, technology, marketing, relocation, or legal processes. From the outside, it may look like a budget blow, but over the year, these investments become a bridge to a vastly higher income tier. So, the main guideline isn't to avoid spending, but to distinguish between empty costs and strategic ones. Everything that enhances your competence, reputation, visibility, and productivity works toward that same million. An equally critical aspect is your inner stance. Aries often burns out mid-journey when results aren't immediate. The prophetic emphasis for 2026 suggests the most substantial money comes from running a marathon, not a sprint. Don't shift direction every 2 months. Don't abandon a project at the first hurdle. Don't ruin relationships with those who may prove useful later. It's beneficial to choose one primary vector and advance with stubborn yet flexible determination. Improve your product, service, channel, business model, or work style rather than flitting between dozens of ideas. A separate element of this prediction is visibility. An Aries unafraid to showcase their skills, product, and thoughts has a far better chance of reaching a high income level. If you're confined to a narrow circle where only a few recognize your value, $1 million is a distant dream. Thus, the need to reach new audiences is clearly indicated. Utilize social networks, public speaking, presentations, professional communities, and event participation. This isn't about fame for its own sake, but about expanding your opportunity field. The more people know what you do, the more clients, partners, and customers can find you. Another crucial detail is your relationship with mistakes. Aries often reacts to failure with aggression or a sharp retreat. In 2026, such reactions are prohibitively expensive. Any misstep, failed project, or botched launch shouldn't be a reason to abandon financial ambitions. On the contrary, the prediction for the wealthiest signs clearly states that those who learn from their losses earn the right to great achievements. So, your task is to honestly ask after each failed attempt, what could have been calculated better? Who should have been involved? What conditions were ignored? Where was the haste? Then, move forward with these conclusions. Rather than closing the money chapter with a sense of defeat. In this prophetic scenario, Aries acts as someone who takes responsibility not only for their own wallet, but for the financial well-being of others. You'll provide someone a job, start a joint venture, teach someone to earn. This, too, is a channel through which large sums will return to you. Generosity here isn't about uncontrolled giving, but about the ability to create opportunities for others, demonstrate leadership, protect your team, and share knowledge. When you don't try to hoard everything for yourself, but build a system where all key participants prosper, money ceases to be a random bonus and becomes a logical consequence. Ultimately, $1 million for Aries in 2026 doesn't look like a mythical reward in this vision, but a point you can actually reach by combining your natural courage with cold financial discipline. Learn to work within a team, embrace visibility, don't retreat after initial defeats, and don't ignore the signs pointing to a season of decisive change. It is precisely this type of Aries who enters the circle of the wealthiest, as mentioned in connection with prophetic warnings and promises of profound enrichment. True wealth isn't found. It's built through disciplined courage. Taurus. Sometimes the path to abundance begins not with the clinking of coins, but with profound silence. It's in this silence that you begin to hear financial signals others dismiss as mere noise. The seer's prediction, naming your sign among those destined for $1 million in 2026, isn't about accidental windfalls. It's the natural consequence of long-term patience, cool calculation, and the ability to remain unshaken while the world churns in chaos. You are not a gambler, but a strategist building an empire one deliberate brick at a time. And in 2026, that brick will transmute to gold. The year will start quietly, even deceptively calm, like the lull before a storm. Many will lose faith in stability, but you will sense the precise moment the market inhales, the exact time to invest, not retreat. In January, an opportunity may arise to acquire something that seems insignificant: a small property, a plot of land, a minority stake. Months later, this will become your point of explosive growth. Financial breakthrough doesn't begin with luck, but with the ability to see latent potential where others see only risk. This is one of Taurus's greatest strengths, and it will lead to what the mystic called material victory. March and April will be months of intense pressure, testing your endurance. Offers will flood in, investments, new partners, ideas that carry the scent of money. But here, the cardinal error would be haste. A Taurus chasing quick results forfeits their supreme gift, the ability to see several moves ahead. Your task isn't to pursue instant gains, but to construct a stable, self-sustaining system. The prediction for your sign states that large money doesn't arrive by chance. It arrives when the ground beneath your feet is utterly solid. By May, You may feel pressure mounting, expenses, obligations, new decisions demanding your accountability. Yet, this very period will unlock your first substantial financial stream, one that will continue to widen. Your task is not to be intimidated by the workload, but to find structure in everything. Chaos and reckless adventure are contraindicated for you, but you excel in the logic of numbers, resources, and balance. If you maintain meticulous attention to the smallest details, June will bring confirmation. Everything that seemed random is coalescing into a coherent income system. In the summer of 2026, a moment will arrive that the seer once described as the gilding test. This is not a metaphor, a large profit ordeal, one that shatters your old financial logic, may burst into your life. This is when the temptation will arise to spend it all, to prove to yourself you've made it. But the prophetic essence is to hold and steward it, not merely to acquire it. July initiates a true school of self-control. If you don't let emotions govern your money, if you resist measuring your worth by your balance, you will create a genuine financial foundation. August brings an unexpected event. Someone close may suffer a loss or financial collapse, and in that moment, you'll understand. Your wealth lies not in others' envy, but in your own unshakable stability. The mystics' interpretations of the prosperous always included a moment of temptation, testing one's ability to avoid arrogance and retain sobriety. For Taurus, this is the year's primary trial. If you withstand it, you will receive tenfold in the autumn. September opens the second act, strategic investment. A real opportunity to multiply your capital will appear. This could be in real estate, technology, export, manufacturing, or financial instruments, anything with a long-term cycle. The seer emphasized that it's those who think in terms of years, not days, who amass great wealth. In 2026, you become the architect of your own destiny. $1 million is not a magic number, but the result of unwavering consistency. In the fall, streams will open that aren't limited to one-time profits. This is capitalization. Your money begins working for you. October and November are a period of transformation. You'll suddenly realize that money is merely an energy form dedicated to stability. What was once an end in itself becomes a resource for creation. You might start aiding others, investing in people, creating jobs, charitable foundations, new directions. And at this precise moment, the universe gives even more. The seer's message to the prosperous signs always carried a dual meaning. Money flows to those who know how to direct it. Taurus is among the few who understand that accumulation for its own sake leads to stagnation, while purposeful movement leads to growth. December symbolizes the completion of a cycle. What began with caution ends in quiet triumph. But the main realization will be that $1 million didn't fall from the sky, it grew from patience. While others lost their bearings, you held the course. While some darted between get-rich-quick schemes, you kept building your system. Now you don't just have money. You have status, confidence, and mastery over yourself. There's another secret woven into this year's structure, one the mystic left between the lines. For Taurus, great wealth arrives only when you release your grip on fear. In 2026, you may be overcome by the sense that you must step into the unknown, change your work format, enter a new market, relocate, merge resources with someone you trust only on intuition. It's a risk, but a controlled one. And this leap will unlock a new income tier. Shedding old limitations becomes your financial master key. Another facet of this prophecy is a connection to the earth. Taurus cannot be truly wealthy without a foundation, without literal or figurative ground beneath their feet. In 2026, the earth in every sense will yield profit. Agricultural investments, environmental businesses, natural products, construction, real estate. If your activities touch these areas, even partially, profits could be extraordinary. This isn't mysticism, but the natural logic of energy. The earth rewards those who develop it, not exhaust it. Yet the prophecy isn't without its drama. Taurus is a sign that fears loss, but sometimes this very fear blocks the inflow of abundance. The seer said large money doesn't come to those who guard it like a hidden treasure. It comes to those who know how to manage it. So, your task in 2026 is to learn to hold on to the system, not the sum. Divide your capital, create financial cushions, distribute risk, but don't hide everything. The flow must move. Otherwise, it stagnates. By year's end, you'll realize what was once a supreme goal has become your new normal. $1 million is perceived not as a limit, but as the starting point of a fresh financial reality. And here, the most fascinating chapter begins. You stop chasing money because it starts seeking you. Contracts, new connections, international projects, offers that seem fantastical. These are just echoes of the inner stability you've cultivated. The seer's message for Taurus isn't about chance. It's a map for those unafraid to dig deep, who understand how to wait and act simultaneously. And while others search for a magic success formula, you'll already be standing in a field of your own harvest. Because where some seek luck, you create it with your hands, mind, and endurance. And for this, the universe finally settles its debt, not with a reward, but with proof that true abundance belongs to those who remain steadfast, even in the storm. Gemini. There are moments when life suddenly resembles a complex financial labyrinth, with shadowy corridors, glimmers of opportunity, and traps for the unwary. It's into such a maze that you will step in 2026, not to become lost, but to find the door to $1 million. The mystic's prediction, which includes your sign among the prosperous, isn't a mere hint of luck. It's a warning. Those who can see through illusions will attain true wealth. January will greet you with a strange sense of duality. One door closes, another cracks open, but between them lies a pause, the calm before the storm. You'll feel that old ways of earning have exhausted themselves, while new ones haven't yet taken shape. This uncertainty is your first test. The seer once said that Geminis live between two worlds, the past and the future, the choice of which to step into determines the financial outcome. January is a time to sever ties with the shadows of the past, with what drains your energy. In February, several seemingly random ideas will appear on the horizon. From these, the project that yields your first major profits will grow. The key is not to reject unconventional ideas that seem too strange. In 2026, you will become an innovator. The vision states you will bring something to the world that nobody expects, and the world will pay you handsomely for it. These words apply directly to you. Don't seek safety. Seek what others don't yet understand. March brings the first powerful energy surge. Chaos will give birth to order. If you work in media, technology, communications, education, psychology, or trade, financial currents will start flowing your way. However, the seer warned that Geminis risk forfeiting their fortune through verbosity, overpromising, disclosing plans, or vanity. All this can erode partner trust. So, March is a time to speak less than you listen. True strength lies in restraint. April turns you into a money magnet. People are drawn to you, seeking your counsel and collaboration. It may seem financial fortune has chosen you, but herein lies a trap. Not everyone who smiles wishes you profit. Among your supporters will be those attempting to exploit your ideas, reputation, or connections. The mystic said, "They possess the gift of speech, but must learn to speak only to those able to hear." Your ability to filter your circle will be your primary safeguard against loss. May be the year's most challenging month. Here, Gemini faces a dilemma: to take a risk or preserve stability. A financial offer that seems too good to be true will emerge. You'll want to believe. But the prophecy for your sign is clear. The temptation of easy money tests the mind. If you hold firm and avoid a rash step, June will bring a chance 3 times greater and real. This is the deeper meaning of your prophetic financial path. Relinquish illusions to perceive reality. Summer is your season of triumph. In June, you begin reaping rewards from earlier decisions. You'll see money returning like a stream finally finding its channel. People who once doubted your ideas will now be ready to invest. However, July and August bring the main challenge. Rapid monetary energy can inflate the ego. If you succumb to illusions of omnipotence, the flow will weaken. The seer left an important warning for your sign. Mocking money invites its departure. Remain grateful even for small profits. For gratitude secures abundance. August unlocks an astonishing opportunity. During this period, you can access new income sources, cooperation with foreign companies, digital products, investment projects, licenses, selling intellectual content. This is the field where your million will be born. But you'll have to work more intensely than ever. Money won't fall from the sky. It will come through concentrated effort, deep analysis, and market understanding. Here, your genius trait, multidimensional thinking, manifests. Where others see a problem, you see a formula. Where they see chaos, you discern a trend. September will feel like a life pivot. A person will appear, not by accident. They may become a partner, investor, or mentor, opening the door to a larger scale. The mystic said Geminis receive support from a voice that sounds unexpected. This could be an acquaintance via social media, an event, a conference, or a brief conversation. Don't dismiss connections that seem minor. They will form a chain leading to the year's main contract. October is when financial currents reach their peak. Income from multiple sources converges into one powerful channel. But the seer warns again, do not drink too greedily from a source not yet full. This means don't rush to withdraw all funds. Don't spend without accounting. Don't halt development. Money in 2026 will have an accelerating effect for Gemini. Directed correctly, it multiplies. Squandered, it vanishes without a trace. November will reveal another phenomenal aspect of the prophecy. What felt like labor will begin to bring deep pleasure. This is a sign of true financial awakening. The seer said, those who stop separating work from purpose become the wealthiest. During this period, you begin living in the rhythm of the flow. Every action, contact, and idea seems to resonate with a higher logic, transforming into monetary energy. It doesn't roar or explode. but quietly fills your life with stability. December tallies the year, but doesn't conclude its meaning. Financially, you reach a new plane. $1 million becomes not a fairy tale, but an objective fact. You're no longer intimidated by large sums. Success doesn't surprise you. You command it. People see you as an authority. And here, the next mission begins, not only to receive, but to pass on. When you share knowledge, experience, and inspiration, money begins orbiting you like planets around a sun. Yet the prophecy's deepest meaning lies not in numbers. The mystic predicted Gemini would become one of the signs, teaching others to live in the rhythm of both reason and intuition simultaneously. 2026 is that school. At first, it tears you in half, seeding self-doubt. Then reassembles you in a new capacity, a person capable of managing monetary energy without fear or excessive emotion. The year's real drama unfolds inwardly. You learn to trust not predictions, others' words, or crowd logic, but your own sense of timing. This sense leads you to what others call accidental fortune. But you understand it as a pattern, because when your thoughts are clear, decisions accurate, and actions timely, money becomes not a goal, but a natural consequence of internal harmony. Thus, 2026 gives birth to a new type of Gemini, not fickle and superficial, but deep, precise, and intellectually formidable. One who can merge information chaos with cold calculation, creativity with practicality, inspiration with analytics. And it is precisely this Gemini who becomes what the seer called a sign of the new era, because they don't just get $1 million. They create a world where intellect and fortune are no longer enemies, but allies. Abundance is the echo of a soul in harmony with its purpose. Cancer. There is money that arrives quietly and money that crashes into life, shattering old patterns like a storm sweeping away the unnecessary. It is the latter that stands in your path for 2026. The seer's prophecy clearly outlines this energy, a sign that can sense what hasn't yet happened, will finally be rewarded for its intuition. But this $1 million isn't merely profit. It's the result of a long trial that will force you to reconsider who you allow to influence your finances. In January, the atmosphere around you will grow thick as if before a downpour. Financial currents shift direction, and those accustomed to stability become disoriented. You, however, don't get lost. You slow down. This is the year's first test. Can you remain calm while others panic? The mystic once said, "Those who stay silent while everyone else shouts will hear the voice of gold." That voice will begin speaking to you in that very silence. February brings people into your life who mirror your old fears. Some will try to draw you into joint ventures, persuade you to invest, or offer quick returns. But a true Cancer doesn't take the bait. Your strength lies in waiting, in an inner certainty that the moment for action hasn't yet arrived. And while others rush about, you remain still, like the sea before the tide. That tide will be the financial current lifting you in March. March is your first wave of fortune. Money will start arriving from unexpected places, an old debt repaid, a delayed payment realized, a new client, a sudden opportunity. The source matters less than the fact these sums activate your belief. At this moment, you stop thinking in survival terms and shift to creation. This is what the seer described as emerging from the shell. A person unafraid to show the world their capabilities begins attracting financial stability, rather than pleading for it. April brings a test of trust. Someone close may attempt to exploit your kindness, promising rapid success. Remember the year's cardinal rule. If a deal begins with flattery, it's dangerous. The seer warned that Cancer may lose money not through error, but through excessive empathy. Not every smiling face is trustworthy. Your intuition, often mistaken for mere emotion, will be more accurate than any business plan now. If something feels wrong, walk away. This caution will be your greatest victory. May is a pivotal point. This is when you stop working for and start working with. It's a subtle but crucial distinction. If you once relied on employers, partners, or circumstances, you now realize your income depends not on external factors, but on your own rhythm. Here, the door to autonomy begins to open. Your own business, self-employment, creative or consulting services, online projects. You start laying the foundation for a stable income source that will solidify by June. June culminates the year's first half. Financial streams begin converging, and with them, fear may surface. What if I can't handle large sums? This is an echo of an old mindset where Cancer always prioritized safety over risk. But 2026 changes the paradigm. To reach $1 million, you must cease fearing it. Money isn't the enemy. It's a reflection of your confidence. If you accept it with gratitude, without justifying yourself to the world, the universe will amplify the flow. July will usher in a new level of awareness. Success without structure crumbles. During this time, many of your sign will discover a second income stream or a partnership that dramatically raises the financial bar. But you may also feel exhaustion. You'll sense the weight of responsibilities, expectations, and deadlines. The seer said money loves a cool head and warm hands. This means don't let fatigue control your decisions. Take a break, redistribute energy, but don't stop. It's in July that you lay the capital foundation that will, by year's end, erupt into a genuine $1 million. August brings unexpected aid. A person you never considered an ally will reveal new opportunities, perhaps a former partner, colleague, or even a relative. This seemingly chance interaction will become a karmic key. In the prophecy regarding the prosperous, there's a hint. Cancer will earn the most not by fighting, but by allowing trust to open a new path. Your strength lies not in aggression, but in attracting people who genuinely wish to help. September will be a period of testing. As your wealth grows, some will try to take it. You'll see the true faces of those you consider close. Though painful, this resistance will clear the field of the unnecessary, leaving only those vibrating on your wavelength. With this cleansing, the financial current will swell again. You'll feel relief turning to stability, stability into strength. October becomes a symbol of recognition. This month, you may receive an offer that alters your social status, a new position, public visibility, a major contract, access to large-scale resources. You'll begin to understand your success isn't accidental. It's built upon years of inner work. The mystic said this sign carries an internal treasure, but will only unlock it upon ceasing to fear its own light. October is the moment that treasure becomes visible. November will reveal the year's deepest energetic layer. This is when you must transform profit into a tool for evolution. If you merely save, money stagnates. If you wisely invest in something alive, knowledge, people, ideas, it returns 100-fold. This month, don't withdraw. There's high potential for new contacts via travel, online meetings, international links. Everything involving movement will unveil new horizons. Finally, December is the financial cycle's peak. Here, Cancer realizes $1 million isn't the summit, but the outcome. Because true wealth lies not only in your account balance, but in your ability to command your own reality. Money begins obeying you like waves obey the moon. There's a deep, mystical meaning here. Cancer is a sign of cycles, so abundance doesn't arrive all at once, but in waves. If you maintain your rhythm, each subsequent wave grows stronger. But 2026 won't conclude without a final scene, a moment the universe tests your generosity. At year's end, you'll have a chance to help someone unconditionally, without benefit or strings. And this act will cement your financial success. The seer said Cancer becomes rich not because it seeks money, but because it knows how to share without losing. And when you do, the flow will never cease. The year that began in silence will end in quiet splendor, not of gold, but of inner confidence. You will become one of those whom prophecies call signs that keep the world afloat, those who know how to preserve, nourish, and multiply. And while others count profits, you'll understand your real million is the ability to manage monetary energy without fear, haste, or loss. This is the highest plane of material freedom the seer prophesied for only a select few. Leo. Money flows to those unafraid to step into the light. This is how the mystic described your fate, saying the power of your heart attracts wealth like the sun summons the day. 2026 is not a year for modesty. It's the year to cease hiding, to stop diminishing yourself and your ambitions. It's time to shine without fear of being too bright, too bold, too loud, for within that brilliance lies your goal. January, the universe seems to prepare you for a leading role. Minor events form a grand mosaic, each detail hinting the world will soon witness your true authority. But the first month is also your initial test. The seer said that before taking flight, a lion always passes through doubt. Am I worthy? This doubt could halt you. But if you move through it, not by fleeing, but through awareness, February will deliver your first real financial surge, an offer, a chance, a deal worth taking, even if it seems intimidating. February is when your charisma awakens. This is a period where any word spoken with conviction can become currency. Money arrives through communication, visibility, presentations, negotiations. Your voice, gaze, and demeanor become a magnet. Thus, it's vital to be seen now. Don't hide behind your team. Don't refuse the stage. Don't downplay achievements. In the prophecies, there's a phrase, "They will rise when they stop awaiting permission." Your task is to cease asking the world if you're permitted to succeed. March reveals a new financial dimension. If your work involves creativity, business, sales, media, finance, or management, you'll experience rapid growth. But with it comes the shadow of competition. Some will copy you, some will envy you, some will obstruct you. Here, your strength is tested. The seer said, "The lion doesn't fight. It simply steps into the sun, and the shadows vanish on their own." Your weapon isn't aggression, but scale. The more you reveal yourself, the less room exists for intrigue. April presents a financial choice. Two significant opportunities may arise, one fast but unstable, the other slow but reliable. The paradox? You must choose both. You're capable of maintaining two directions simultaneously, but only if you delegate. 2026 will teach you not to control everything personally, but to build a system functioning without your constant presence. Money dislikes being clutched too tightly. It expands when granted space to move. May initiates a period of major social activity. People will seek your advice, support, and partnership. Some will want you as the face of their brand. Others will desire you as a co-investor. This is when your name starts working for you. Simultaneously, the main pitfall emerges: excessive generosity. Leo often gives away what should be retained. Therefore, be discerning. Aid those who grow beside you, not those who seek to drain your resources. June opens the door to the grand stage. You may find yourself in the spotlight, at work, in media, in a new environment. Your influence expands, and with it, your profits. But the true challenge this month is preventing ego from taking command. The seer warned that lions burn not from fire, but from their own radiance if they gaze at themselves too long. This is a caution. Don't treat recognition as an end in itself. Use it as a tool to ascend to the next level. In August, this discipline will pay dividends. August is the year's most profitable month. Money arrives from several directions at once: a previously stalled deal, a project finally launching, an unexpected payment. But the core event is internal transformation. You stop seeking approval and begin living with the feeling that everything you need is already within. This is the state where money flows naturally. The more inner peace you cultivate, the more stable your income growth becomes. September introduces contrast. Outwardly, success. Inwardly, doubt. At some point, the pace may feel too fast, the price too high. But this fatigue isn't an enemy, it's a signal to redistribute energy. You don't have to do everything alone. Now is the time to build a team, delegate tasks, share responsibility. Money loves motion. When you learn to relinquish some control, profits begin multiplying. This becomes strikingly evident in October. October is when the universe positions you to choose between power and freedom. Someone may offer a prestigious position that steals your flexibility. Another may propose a partnership opening new horizons but demanding risk. Choose the latter, because risk is your key to $1 million in 2026. Without it, there's only comfort, not breakthrough. This month initiates a long-term financial stream that will continue for years. November delivers the first results of your courage. This is when you'll receive not only profit, but the confidence your choices were correct. During this period, it's crucial to invest part of your earnings into something tangible: real estate, a fund, your own enterprise, or philanthropy. Don't leave money idle. Stagnant energy dissipates. The seer said a lion that doesn't share begins losing its strength. Your generosity should be conscious, not impulsive. Then, the flow won't stop. December is the year's pinnacle. Your name, your work, your status, everything converges. You become a center of gravity. Money, opportunities, people orbit you. But this doesn't mean you can relax. It's only the first tier of a new cycle. Because when the seer said the lion would receive $1 million, she meant not just financial wealth, but a symbol of victory over your own shadow, over the doubt you're too much, over the fear of being noticed, over the temptation to betray yourself for convenience. When you stand at year's end, looking back, you'll realize the real drama wasn't in the numbers, but in the strength of spirit. You learn to govern not money, but the light within yourself. And that light now perpetually attracts material success because it has become part of you. The year 2026 inscribes you on the list of those the seer regarded with special respect. Signs that transform luck into a system. Indeed, you become not merely rich, but strategic. You no longer await recognition. You fashion your own throne. And while others still seek a path to $1 million, you already stand atop, gazing down with the quiet assurance of someone who knows they didn't just receive it, they earned it. If this celestial roadmap to 2026 resonated with you, illuminate this channel with a like and follow Winds of Thought for more voyages into destiny's design.